You're so lucky because you're healthy, fit and strong, lean and energetic. Is that true or is it a choice? You're so lucky you've got a career or business that you love, waking up every day, making money, doing what you love. Is that a choice or is that something we're born with? You're financially free, financially secure or wealthy or rich, whatever you want to call it. Is that by choice or is that luck? And the people that you have in your life, is that a choice or do we have to put up with disrespectful, horrible people because they're our family or they just happen to be in our life? Well, I'd like to think that we are not predetermined. I'd like to think that we make choices. And I'm an individual person, as are you. I can make those choices. I can choose to be healthy, fit and strong. I can choose what I eat. I can choose how much exercise I do. I can choose what kind of stress levels I have, how deeply I sleep, how much fresh air and sunshine I get. Oh, you can too. I get to choose my career path. And mine was supposedly predetermined for me because my father wanted me to be a lawyer. He sent me to private boarding school in Melbourne, Australia to become a lawyer. I decided I wanted to be an exercise professional and I went against my family and my circle of influence and my environment, but I knew what I wanted to do with my life, even though other people tried to predetermine my life for me. Our financial situation, is it predetermined? Do we have to be broke, poor and struggling for money or can we change? And of course, there are plenty of people in the world who are born poor or broke or struggling for money or have had a terrible financial situation. They've changed their financial habits, they've become financially educated, and they've become wealthy or financially free. So could that be a choice? And even if they are your family, do you have to have horrible negative people in your life or can you choose to not invest, waste, spend time with people that don't add value to your life? And the reason I ask those questions is, are we born good or bad? It's one of those big philosophical questions. If we're born to be healthy, fit and strong, is that in our DNA or can we choose? So then can we choose to be a nice person or a nasty person? Are we born nasty or are we born nice? And the reason I'm asking is I have to deal with lots of different people every day the same way that you do. And some people are just nice, aren't they? They're just lovely, delightful, kind, respectful, beautiful people. Did they choose to be that or were they born that way? I deal with horrible, nasty, negative, gossiping, criticising, yucky people. Were they born that way or did they choose to become that? Now there's a question there about nature and nurture. You were born with certain genetics and certain DNA, but you also had an upbringing, you had parents, you had teachers, you had an environment that might have determined the kind of person that you become. But I'm sure you've met people that have had terrible parents and a horrible upbringing and yucky things have happened to them, but they're still beautiful people. And the reverse of that, there's some people that have had great parents and great teachers and an awesome upbringing and they've become horrible, nasty, terrible people. I'd like to know if that's a choice. What I can share with you as an old lady who's lived on the planet a very long time, there's never been one day in my life that I've wanted to be nasty or negative or a gossip or criticise or pull people down. That isn't in my DNA. So I don't know the answer to the question, are you born that way? But I think I must have been born without that gene because I've never wanted to be nasty. And when I deal with people that are bullies or they're negative or they treat people badly or disrespectfully, I can't understand it and I don't want to understand it. I never want to be that person. But the question is not for us as adults, is it? It's about our kids. What example are we living for our kids? And can we be the person that a child can look up to and say, I want to be like that? And I don't have any children, so I'm very careful with that question. But when children look into my life, I want them to be able to see an old lady who is healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic, loves her life. She's lived her whole life with a career and business that I love. Financial freedom is not something that was given to me as a gift at Pretty Pink Box out of the sky. You have to work hard, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, you have to be committed, you have to do what you love, and then financial freedom is pretty easy if you put all those things together. And I refuse to have negative, nasty people in my life. I just won't put up with it. Is that a choice or is that something I was born with? I actually don't know the answer to that. What I do know is that when somebody looks into my life, I want them to see that it is possible. Those 4 things that I bang on about every single day. Yes, you can be healthy, fit and strong. Yes, you can have a career or business that you love. Yes, you can be financially free regardless of your upbringing. And yes, you can have great people in your life because that's a choice. Those 4 big pillars of life. Imagine a life like that. You wake up every day with a stack of energy. and a body that can do all the things that you want it to. You wake up every day making money doing something you're absolutely passionate about. You are financially free because you're doing what you're absolutely passionate about, and you're really good at it, and you keep getting better at it because you like the education and training to keep getting better at it. And you only have beautiful people in your life because that's a choice. I can't tell you how to live your life, and I would never want to. I hate it when somebody preaches at me or tells me what I should or shouldn't do. All I wish for is this. I want our kids to see that it is possible. And I get very disappointed. I feel sad, and I think it's irresponsible and disrespectful if we tell our kids, no, you've got to have a lousy, stinking, rotten job. You can't be healthy, fit and strong. You can't be financially free, and you have to have horrible people in your life. I think that's a really horrible thing to put onto our kids. So I never will. But I'm not a parent. I deal with lots of other people's children though, and I want our kids to know that it's possible to live their life to the max. That's not just a saying for me. 100% healthy, fit and strong, 100% doing what you love, 100% financially secure and free, and 100% of the people in your life, in your inner circle, are beautiful. And then the people that you can't have, well, we don't have control over what other people do, but we have control over who we put into our life. And the people that come into our life that don't treat us respectfully or kindly, or they're rude or they gossip or they bully, we don't have to put up with them. We don't have to. That's self-esteem and self-confidence, isn't it? I don't want to have people in my life that treat me badly, so I will actually throw them out. Could that be a great headspace to have? So I'm standing in front of my library, and it's filled with people and I only put books in my library of people who I respect for a reason. They're doing what they love, or they're healthy, fit and strong, or they're financially free, or they've built great relationships, or they're a combination of all of those four things. So my circle of influence, the people I put into my life, is also the podcasts that I watch, the seminars that I go to, the conferences that I go to, the autobiographies and biographies that I read. I only put people into my life who are going to add value and be a positive influence on my life. If that's a choice, well, I've made that choice, and I think that every human being can make that choice. I would hate to think that we believe, or we have an opinion that I have to be fat, sick, weak and diseased, or I have to have a lousy, stinking, rotten job, I have to be broke, poor, struggling for money, and I have to have horrible people in my life. I would hate to think that that's a choice, those horrible things. So may we choose wisely. May we choose to live happily, because you want to live your life to the max, yeah.